So recently would be February 24th. I'm in my fifth week with Expert System, and it certainly has been a very interesting 5 weeks given what is unfolded across the globe. Just for my background, I think there's kind of three common threads that are most relevant to why I joined Expert System. The first is all of my professional life, I've led businesses internationally. So while I'm from the United States, I've lived and worked in France, where I had responsibility for Southern Europe with Dell. I was in Sydney, Australia. I was in Japan and Singapore. So very common thread that's relevant given that Expert System has its roots in Italy. Another element that's relevant to Expert System is that I've focused on scale-up companies or high-growth companies. In particular, in the last 7 years, I worked with an impact venture capital organization called Endeavor. We were all about how do you take established companies that are at an inflection point and bring them to scale. And relevant to that as well is in almost every case, those companies were established in a home market, but were looking to achieve scale in the United States. So again, very consistent with what we're looking to execute at Expert System. I think I could also address a little bit around what attracted me to the opportunity, if that's relevant as well. So in looking at Expert System, I think there are four things that jumped out at me. In my engagement with the team, the caliber was really extraordinary, both in the technology side from the co-founders, but also across the breadth of the team. This area of computational linguistics and how do you apply computational technology to solve problems of language in business. The team is just extraordinarily deep. That speaks to the strength of the technology as well. We're fundamentally a technology business. The other thing that I think I found really compelling is the breadth of customer experience at Expert System. And I will make a declarative sentence that Expert System has more experience solving real-world business problems involving language than any other company in the world. And I think the final piece that really sealed the deal for me was this is clearly a market moment. There's a recognition that artificial intelligence in the enterprise applied to the vast amount of unstructured text. About 80% of all data in the enterprise is in unstructured text format. So we feel like that combination of depth of the team, strength of technology, breadth of customer experience, and the market moment just made for a very compelling opportunity. We continue to register solid growth. We were up year on year about 10%. Those numbers are going to change and they will get bigger, faster, I think is the key marching order. We continue to show the sophistication of the customers in the Fortune 1000 who are looking to be innovators in the application of AI with customers like Rabobank and AXA. Profitability is improved. We've got a strong balance sheet, which in the current environment is extraordinarily important. We've added key hires through FY19 and going into FY20, including myself, our COO, and a number of people in the US organization. And then we continue to move to this scalable platform model with our annual recurring revenue moving to 76% of revenue in FY19. So on balance, it was a strong year and it positions us well through the current crisis and for the growth phase that we think we're about to embark on. The challenge that we face and the uncertainty because of the COVID crisis obviously shapes some of what we're going to do, but the fundamentals remain the same. And essentially, we have some core pillars. One, it's growth in the United States. So we have already made investments in the US. We're going to start executing against that. We're going to focus on core verticals, in particular insurance, finance, and information publishing media, because we see the obvious relevance of our solutions in those verticals. And that's where we're generating the lion's share of our revenue elsewhere around the world. We're going to look to expand our reach and scale through the channel. So we're only at about 10% of revenue currently in the channel. And we're going to use 2020 to continue to build that out, both with tier one global solution providers, but also those very focused and very capable tier two solutions integrators in the markets in the United States, focused on verticals, insurance, finance, or on the functional area of artificial intelligence and robotic process automation. We also see an opportunity to engage technology companies to embed our natural language understanding engine in their solution stack. So there's been a proliferation of companies that are trying to address specific use cases that have at their core natural language understanding. We think when we bring our capabilities to them, they'll find it compelling to take it to that next level. At the end of it, it's all around offering practical, explainable artificial intelligence that solves real world problems. And we want to do it in a way where the outcomes are understandable and the customers control the platform. We think if we do that by simplifying our tools, by simplifying our pricing models, by expanding availability, which we intend to do by bringing our platform to public cloud, then we're going to be poised for very, very successful growth over both 2020 and going forward. I think with everyone else, we're finding how quickly the new normal of digital execution and digital leadership has become the order of the day. As a distributed company, that's something that we were used to. And as a digital company, we fortunately are in a position where we're able to execute. I mean, very specifically, what we've done, though, is we brought our tools to bear in the fight against COVID-19, most particularly by just announcing yesterday that we were making our artificial intelligence-driven Research Navigator tool available to researchers and medical facilities around the world free, at least through the beginning of July. And that tool is extraordinarily powerful, aggregating over 100 million documents, real-time updating, 12 million identified medical experts, all that provides a single screen for finding out what's going on around the world real time in the fight against COVID-19.